What is up? Hey my thrifty friends, Tabs here from the Urban Goddess shop. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video, we are going over the sales from the last 2 weeks and I have 21 sales over $25. We're gonna discuss some stuff at the end. I feel like sales have been super slow, but I know why they've been slow. We'll go over that after, but I am excited to kind of get back in the swing. We've been on holidays for the last 9 days and I just unplugged, enjoyed life, got outside, spent time with the family, and I just needed that. I just needed a really good rest. I'm also fighting a cold again. I don't know if you guys can tell. I am officially going to be taking vitamins and vitamin C, vitamin D, and I think zinc after this. I just need to start taking better care of myself because this is the second cold I've had this summer. It's not the vid. I've already done the test. Bear with me. Sorry my voice is all wonky again. Okay, let's just jump right into these sales. I don't like wasting any of your time. We're going to break these down. I'm going to tell you why I think they sold, if I would grab the item again, just kind of any information I have about the items. And I definitely have the fall vibe happening. I can tell fall items are what people are looking for just by looking at these what sold. And I think the other cool thing is when you watch these what sold videos, I don't always pick up a lot of brand name stuff. I mean, I do have a section of brand name stuff, but I sell a lot of things based on styles. We'll be able to pin down some styles and other things that you could be looking for if you don't have access to a lot of the Bolo brands or the commonly selling brands. Okay, first item is an Aritzia Babaton Billy skirt. This was in a houndstooth and it sold for $59. I have had this item, I think, for a couple of months. I'm pretty sure it was the end of spring. I find houndstooth is just a fall pattern or print, something that is always in style as long as it's kind of a current cut of an item. So whether it was a skirt or a blazer or something, as long as it's reasonably falling into either vintage or the modern style, that print is a print that I like to pick up. This skirt was in a size 8, and I think that was the other kind of selling feature. It was a little bit of a bigger size. Not that 8 is a big size by any means. I personally am a size 10, 12, but I feel like anything 6 and up are pretty safe bets for sizes. So not surprised that this item sold. Definitely had to hold on to it until more end of summer for it to sell. Next item to sell was a vintage wool southwestern print oversized blazer. This was in a size 12 and it sold for $31. I've been sitting on this blazer for almost a year. I don't know what took so long to sell. I honestly thought it would sell a lot quicker. I think actually it was even a sold at one point and then they canceled the sale right away. So yeah, I don't know why, but I will continue to pick up these kind of pieces. These southwestern prints are styles that I think are always trending. They're always kind of a category that people are looking for. There's definitely a demographic that loves that vintage southwestern look. Southwestern and vintage blazers, those are ones that I would be looking for in fall. Next up is a vintage 1980s red 100% silk button-down. I can't talk. Vintage 1980s red 100% silk button-down blouse. This was such a cool piece. I am always looking for vintage silks. I really despise red just because I have to photograph it, but otherwise I think it's one of the most versatile colors for vintage button-down tops. This one sold for $40 and it was in a size large. I will continue to look for these, although I always hope that it's in any other color besides red and black. Those seem to be the most common colors that I find. I love vintage silks and I think it's a pretty safe bet with any color. Just make sure you're watching for discoloration. Very commonly silks will have fading and sun fading, especially if it sat somewhere or it was, sometimes in a display somewhere where sun was shining on it. It will discolor it and it'll make it look kind of wonky. So make sure you're giving your silks a really good look over when you're in the store looking for any color discoloration. All right, next is a pair of LL Bean black fleece lined outdoor pants. These were in a men's size large tall. I picked these up in Winnipeg, I think back in July. They sold for $30. I was hoping that these were going to sell for a little bit more. I paid about $12 or $14 for them, so the profit margin just really wasn't there. I don't know, I didn't really want to sit on them any further. They sent me an offer for $30, which I accepted. I try not to pick up petite and tall sizing. I'm not saying it's a rule that you can't. I just don't, because it's a smaller demographic of people. So I know that I have to be prepared that I might sit on it a little bit longer. If I would have found these pants for like under $5, I think I wouldn't have stressed about it. Paying up to like $12 or $14 for these pants, it was a little bit more of an investment that, yeah, I don't know if I would do it again. I think I got caught up in the moment when I was thrifting and I was just so darn excited to find them. Next up is a pair of Aritzia Wilfred Daria faux leather vegan pants, or vegan leather pants. These were in a size 1X and they sold for $40. I wasn't sure if I was going to pick these up this season just because I know the Melina pant is more of the style, so like the straight leg or the tapered faux leather pants. I remember last year selling them, so if I can, or selling a couple of pairs of them, if I can thrift these for probably under $7, I will grab them. I feel confident that these pants will sell for over $35, which is a decent profit margin for what I'm looking for. Make sure they're in good quality, and then just check the seam on the butt, because sometimes if they're not the right size on the person that's been wearing them, it'll be like stretched out in the butt seam and you can actually see kind of like micro holes. Make sure you're checking for that when you're picking up any Wilfred Daria pants. But yeah, for the right price, I definitely would be still grabbing these, and I think there's still a market for these type of pants, even though they're not like the tapered or the straight leg. Next up is an Aritzia Wilfred black silk sheer button-down blouse. This was in a size medium and it sold for $70. I am actually shocked about this item. It was an older Wilfred top, I could tell by the tag. Just kind of picked it up on the right price and it was on sale. A bunch of things lined up and I was like, okay, I'm going to take a chance on this. I was not expecting to get what I got for it, but looking back, it's black. Going into season, like fall, winter, people are looking for black items. It's silk. Silk is such a coveted material in all seasons. And I think because it was sheer, you could definitely layer it with a nice camisole or a broad top, whatever you want. I'm like kind of surprised for what it sold for, but not really because of some of the factors and heading into the fall season. So I would definitely be looking for black silk items, or just in general, any silk items. Sheer doesn't matter to me. I would take a chance on it, especially if you're picking up for the right cost of goods. Next up is a smash and test coverall zip up tencel long sleeve jumper. I think that's a lot of keywords. This one was in a size XL and it sold for $70. I sourced this a couple months ago and I actually had regrets after I sourced it because I paid $20 for it and I was like, oh my gosh, did I overpay for this? The biggest thing was that it wasn't made out of that stretchy material, and that was one of the most common questions that I was getting in bundles was, is this made of stretchy material? Do you think this would fit me if I'm at this size, blah, blah, blah. And it was just a really hard sell. I answered a lot of questions on this jumper, but didn't really have any bites. Totally happy this sold for $70. I did have it listed for $100, but was obviously going to accept reasonable offers. I was like questioning it, maybe I should have grabbed it, and now I'm like, okay, I should still be grabbing smash and test. I don't know, do you guys sell it? Are you still selling it? Is it something that's moving? I don't see it showing up as often as a popular brand, but I do feel like there's a group of people that really enjoy the brand, enjoy the fit and the style, that will continue to buy it. And this was actually a newer style for their line of clothing too. Next up is a pair of Patagonia lightweight straight leg pants. These were in a size 14 and they sold for $45. I'm always preaching this. I love outdoor gear. Outdoor gear does well. There are people looking for it. It's super expensive to buy brand new. So if you can source this for a decent price, there is a demographic of people that are looking for secondhand outdoor wear. I think I was hoping to get a little bit more for these Patagonia pants. I had a good cost of goods on these and the profit margin kind of meets what I'm looking for. So Patagonia, it's kind of like a safe one for me no matter what the style is. Pretty much, even if it's an older style, I'm going to grab it because you're going to be able to make some money off of it. I mean, some of their cuts, definitely you can tell the decade, I guess, that it was made, but people don't care. Like a lot of people that are hiking and doing outdoor activities, they don't care. They just want to get some good technical gear, and lots of the hiking gear just pretty much comes in like straight leg, which never really goes out of style if you're asking me. And there's Callie. Let's see what she wants. My room is kind of a mess. I'm actually embarrassed for you guys to be seeing this right now, but I did not have time to fix it. Hi Cal, I'm doing a video right now. I'm gonna be a few minutes in here, okay? I'll come get you after. Okay, bye. Bye. Callie, you gotta move out of the way. Come on. Callie is 15 years old and she is, I think, like 90% deaf. We're kind of working on ways to communicate with her, and we've started to do like some basic like sign language. But yeah, I don't know, like, has anyone had an aging dog, especially going deaf, and how did you communicate with them? Because that's where we're at right now. She's also partially blind, like her vision's really going more when the lighting isn't really good. The deafness, she's like always looking at us for cues, and we're like trying to use hand motions and use the same ones so that she can read those. I don't know. It's so stressful having aging pets and trying to take care of them. But yeah, she's always curious to see what's going on in my room. Okay, moving along. Next item is an Eddie Bauer downfield puffer quilted vest. This was in a size medium and it sold for $40. Eddie Bauer is a bread and butter brand for myself and for my closet. I love it. Anytime I can scoop it up and the cost of goods is reasonable, usually for these kind of vests, I'm paying about $5 to $7 for them. I will grab them. There is a demographic of people that are looking for Eddie Bauer as a brand that love their gear. It's good quality, it's good outdoor stuff. It's usually in great colors, good prints. I don't know, it's kind of like a classic style, and they've really nailed that classic style. So yes, I would continue to grab these pieces. Anything even that's downfilled, for me, it doesn't have to necessarily be a brand, but if I can tell it's a good quality puffer and I look in the tag and it says downfilled, I'll probably grab it and take a chance on it. I don't think it needs to be a brand to sell. Downfill is one of those keywords or like material contents that people are looking for. Always. It will hold more value than a polyester filled one, in my opinion. I'm not like the be all end all, but that's just my opinion. All right, next up is an Aritzia Wilfred Renee skirt. This is in a size 10 and it sold for $39. Very fall looking. No doubt that this was gonna sell over the next month or two. Next up is a North Face khaki cargo shorts. These are a men's size 34 and they sold for $53. This is a surprising sale for me. Number one, we're at the end of August, so I was like, okay, I didn't know people were still buying shorts for like full price. And I don't know, I picked them up and I grabbed them because I don't normally grab cargo pants. They were definitely like that khaki type material, and they were North Face. So it had a few factors. I had a coupon, I was saving some money, but I knew it was a big risk when I grabbed these. This is a risk that paid off. So I don't know, I guess I'm asking you guys, do you think that it was because of the brand and the style? Like, is there one factor here that you think made these sell for $53? Because I don't know if it was one factor or all of them. I don't know, but I'm really surprised about it. Like, not gonna lie, really surprised about this sale. So I'd love to hear what your guys' thoughts are on those shorts. Okay, next up is a Lululemon shaped short sleeve shirt. This was in a size small and it sold for $30. I've had this top for a while. I felt like it maybe wasn't the best investment because I do pay up a little bit more for tank tops and tops that are Lululemon. I think I grabbed it on a sale. I had like 20 or 30% off. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of grabbing Lulu tops, and more just because of the price that I'm paying for them, not that they're not good items to sell. I always end up paying up for them, and that profit margin's a lot smaller. But at least it sold. I got my money back. I made a couple bucks, just not what I was hoping. All right, next is a Free People Weekender puffer mustard yellow jacket in an extra small. This sold for $60. I've had this item since probably like February, maybe. No, maybe it was even March. I feel like I was a little bit late listing it for the winter crowd, and it's kind of probably even more of a fall color. And I was also hoping to get more money for it. It is what it is. I'm trying to clear out a bunch of my old inventory because I have so much stuff to list right now. It's actually ridiculous the amount of stuff that I have to get listed in the next week. But I kind of want to get some of my old stuff moving out. So over the weekend and yesterday, I was running 40% off offers. I sent out 40% offers to everyone, and I think I gross sailed like $500 yesterday on Sunday, and that was just from running that 40% off sale. Pretty good way to kind of get things moving out, get some sales happening, and then light the fire under my butt to do some listing this week. yeah, I definitely, so what I'm getting at is I thought this jacket would sell for more. I think there's more value in it. I probably could have countered back, but because I've held on to it for so long, that's why I let it go for the $60. All right, next up is a pair of Levi's Wedgie Icon Fit black ankle jeans. These were in a size 29. They sold for $51. You guys know I love Levi's wedgie jeans, wedgie, straight leg, flare. Those are all styles that I am trying to pick up right now. I think what really did it for these jeans is they're a bigger size. They're a size 29, and I was able to get over $50 for them, which is awesome. Happy with that one. Next up is a Lululemon fleece back soft shell jacket in a size large. This sold for $75. This would be a bad investment on my side. So I sourced this for Jeff. There was 2 Lululemon jackets that I thought that he would like. I paid about $50 for each of them. He actually ended up not liking either of them. So the first jacket I sold for $120 within like an hour. It went really quick. This jacket I have had for like 2 or 3 months. It's just been a really slow mover. I've had quite a few really low offers on it that I've either countered or declined. I sent out that 40% off and it was for $75 and she accepted it. So my earnings on this are $55.97, and that's pretty much what I paid for it. Not a great investment. I don't normally source men's Lulu stuff because I feel like I pay up for it and it doesn't hold the value that I want it to. For that reason, I don't think I would pay $50 for men's Lulu jackets unless they were like maybe a baggier fit, maybe a different color. The other thing, this is a really fitted jacket, and I did get quite a few comments of people saying I would get this, but I think it's gonna be too small, or I would get this, but I think it's gonna be too snug, things like that. Maybe it was just more the style, but paying up for Lulu men's jackets, it's a tough one for me personally. All right, next is an Aritzia TNA League Bomber downfield jacket. This was in a size medium. It sold for $45. I was hoping I would get more money for this one, but it is a little bit of an older style. It's not the super puff. I don't know if I would grab this again because I typically pay up for these jackets. I still made some money on it. It sold within about a month or two, which isn't too bad. But yeah, I think these are a great item if you are paying like super low cost of goods. I don't know if I would pay up for this in a thrift store to flip it, not with the style of the jacket for the Aritzia one. Next up is an Aritzia cardigan sweater. This is Wilfred, and it was in a tan color, extra small. It sold for $45. I've had this one listed for a little bit. Actually, the color of the sweater is a slightly different color than the model picture, but I did put that into the listing, letting them know. I was happy I got this pretty reasonably priced in the thrift store, so it was a good profit margin on it, but I don't think I would pay up for that style, just being that it's an older style of Wilfred. Next is a bundle. This is a 2-piece bundle. It's sold for $50. This is probably a little bit lower than I would have wanted. I was just trying to get inventory moving yesterday during my 40% off sale. So in the bundle are 2 pieces. One is a Mech Tarina stretch convertible hiking pants in a women's size 12. And the second item is a Mech green fleece zip-up jacket, men's medium. Both items, like I said, sold for $50. Lower than I would want to see them go, but happy to see them kind of moving through my inventory. That Mech fleece, I've had that one listed for quite a few months. I've had some like low offers on it, like $20, which I usually counter and then they just kind of disappear or ghost me. Yeah, nothing serious. So if I'm sitting on something for, 3 or 4 months, I'm probably going to take offers on them or try and put them into a bundle and give them a good deal on it, and just more get that money back into my business so I can try and find more items that are desirable or that will sell quicker. Next is a Northern Reflections beige fleecy sweater in a size medium. This one sold for $25. I've talked about Northern Reflections a few times in the last couple of weeks. It's not a brand that I am actively sourcing anymore. I know last year I was like so excited, always talking about Northern Reflections, but it's just not a brand that's holding that same value. I think it might be too soon still in the season. Definitely there's like styles or material contents that I'm looking for. If I can find like the cotton crew neck style, more of a vintage Northern Reflections, depending on the print and the color of it, I would probably pick it up, right cost of goods. But my thrift stores started marking them up to like $10 and $12, and I think that's just crazy. I think that's crazy for those sweaters. I don't think they hold that much value. So there's like a couple factors that have to line up for me to grab them now. I don't want to take them off the list, but they're not a priority anymore. Next up is a vintage tan cable knit sweater vest. This is in a size medium and it sold for $30. I've had this one for a couple months actually, and I thought it would sell sooner just being that neutral tone. I like the chunky cable knit of it. I don't know. Just took a while, probably more of a fall item, had to wait for people to start looking for fall items. Probably paid less than $5 for it. Pretty decent profit margin on that one as well for a non-brand item, right? You don't have to just look for brands, but look for quality, look for like trending styles, like those chunky cable knits. Those are to me like a staple for fall wardrobes, and people are always looking for them, especially in nice, soft, neutral tones. And then the last item that sold this week is a Free People coral drapey blouse in a size large. This sold for $30. I grabbed this a couple weeks ago. When I got home, I instantly regretted it. I thought I'd be able to find a stock photo on it just because I feel like Free People stuff sells so much better if you can find a decent stock photo for it. I couldn't. It was just like awkward to photograph. If you guys notice in the picture, it's just kind of like a weird, unique style of top. I paid about $15 for it. It sold for $30. My earnings are $20. It wasn't very much. So yeah, I think it was a bad buy on my half. That wraps up the sales. That's 21 sales over $25. Not too shabby for the last 2 weeks, but I feel like my sales could have been a lot better. I do think I kind of had this coming for me. I have not been listing consistently for the last at least 3 weeks. We've been really busy in the month of August, and I feel like it's finally really having an impact, where before I could just like relist items and I would still get sales coming through. I have still been relisting items every other day or every 3 days. It's not having the same impact that it used to when I was doing it, you know, say a month ago. I feel like if I was listing more consistently, I'd be able to give a good basis on these sales and how I feel like the sell-through rate and people's shopping habits. I do feel like people are starting to spend again. People are starting to buy on the app, and that it's important that we get all of our fall and winter items that we've had stashed away, put into our closets so that they're there. And you want to catch people at the beginning of the season. This is where they're willing to spend a little bit more money because they're looking for specific items. The longer you wait, the more items are out there and the more people are looking for a deal. That's just like my personal opinion. It's not fact. It's not like research or data driven. I just think that I tend to get better value for items at the beginning of the season, right? Because then everyone starts marking them down as we get through the season. I'm going to start listing things. My goal is to have at least 50 new listings this week, and then be able to give you guys some better information on what's selling, what I'm thinking, and we'll do that all next week. Okay, guys, I want to know, how are your sales? Are they picking up? Is summer slowdown in the past? Are we now going into the last quarter? Are sales getting going? What type of items are you selling? Let's share, let's help each other. And yeah, I look forward to hearing from you guys. All right, well, thank you for tuning in. I love seeing all your smiley faces down in the comments and your comments. So please touch base with me, reach out. I love reading and replying to you guys. I'm gonna let you guys go on that note. I am wishing you all many sales, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
I'm waiting at the doorstep, I'm finally home.